If you'll please stand and bow your heads with me for a moment of silence for 21 seconds to honor our 21 beautiful souls. Thank you.
Madam President, I'd like to recognize Isaiah Garcia, birthday with me, August the 13th.
Our invocation will be led by Kathleen Maxwell Randy.
Father God, we just come to you tonight and we just offer up this meeting to you. I thank you that your word tells us in Psalms 46 that you are our refuge and our strength, a very present help in time of trouble. And so, Lord, I just pray your peace over this meeting. I thank you for your strength, Lord, and your love for us. I pray for this meeting and for this community, God, that you would heal the shattered hearts and broken dreams. Lord, pour out your healing throughout our community. And we do lift up Kerrville and the tragedy there too. God, I ask that you be so present and that your Holy Spirit, the great comforter, would surround all of those that have lost friends, family, property. Lord, bring your peace to this meeting. Bring understanding of one another's perspectives. And I pray that you would be glorified and honored. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Now to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor
The Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. Item number 2, swearing in of at-large school member.
In my raising right hand, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Erica Munoz,
I, Erica Munoz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties of the office of
execute the duties of the office of
UCISD School Board Trustee,
DCISD School Board Trustee,
the state of Texas, and I will best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and its laws,
the state of Texas,
and with the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend
to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Erica
I, Erica
Ayala Munoz,
Ayala Munoz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I have not
that I have not
directly
directly
or indirectly
paid,
paid, offered,
or offered,
promised to pay,
promised to pay,
contributed, or promised to contribute any money
contributed, or promised to pay, or contributed any money,
or anything of value,
or anything of value,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
for the giving
for the giving
or withholding
or
of a vote
withholding of a vote
at the election
at the election
at which
at which
I was elected,
I was elected
or as a reward to secure
as a reward to secure
my appointment or confirmation,
my appointment or confirmation,
whichever the case may be.
whichever the case may
So help me God.
be. So help me God.
Trustee Munoz, congratulations.
She sign it? No. Get her to sign, yeah, both please.
Thank you. Okay, item agenda number 3, reorganization of board officers. Item A, election of board president.
Madam President, I make a motion for Laura Pettis for the president.
Anyone else? Motion made by trustee Suarez, second by trustee Gonzalez. All in favor? Vote passes unanimously. Item agenda B, election of vice president.
Madam President, I recommend trustee Gonzalez as vice president of the board.
Can I get a second?
I'll second
Do you have any other nominations for vice president?
Trustee J.J. Slice.
Do I have a second? I'll second. So, motion made by trustee Flores, second by trustee Bettis. May I show a hand of support for vice president?
You need to do the motion for Jacqueline, my Robert, and then second by Justin. Oh, did you say that? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize, so.
You call me baby.
Okay.
No, they're good.
Okay, motion for Jacqueline Gonzalez made by trustee Quinones, second by trustee Riso. And a show of hands for, trustee Gonzalez as vice president. And motion made for Mr. J.J. Suarez as vice president. Motion made by trustee Flores, second by Pettis. All in favor? J.J. Suarez will serve as the vice president. Item C, election of secretary,
Nominate trustee Reese as secretary.
and I'll second. Any other nominations? Secretary, nomination made by trustee Flores, nominated by trustee, second by trustee Bettis. All in favor? Mr. Risa stands as board secretary. And Marie? Yes. Yes, we're ready.
Henry, there's an extra one if you need one.
Item agenda number 4, board recognition.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Madam President. At this time, I'd like to call Ms. Anne Maria Espinosa to the podium for board recognition.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees and Mrs. Cullis. Board recognition is going to look a little different this evening. This evening, we are recognizing our founders and funders of Motivate Our Students Texas, as this past school year was our inaugural year of implementing. In the 2024-2025 school year, most facilitated 50 learning expeditions for students who earned perfect attendance, or at the beginning, our first SeaWorld trip was students who had 3 or less absences and tardies. We visited various locations and learned a great deal about the different opportunities of careers and the importance of attending school every day. Within these 50 expeditions, we had nearly 6,000 students attend the different expeditions. We share extreme gratitude to the founder and funder of Dr. Edwin Eli Whitney. He is the one who founded Motivate Our Students Texas and secures all the funding as far as admission into all the different parks, travel, the cover of the school bus, the cover of the gas, and paying of the bus drivers. This cost the district $0. Absolutely none. Helping him organize the expeditions is Mr. Bruce Baker, who is our connection with all of the different sites that we go to visit. And Dan Eason, many of you may know Dan Eason. He is a Uvaldean. He is the one who made the connection with Dr. Edwin Eli Whitney and our school district and brought Motivate Our Students Texas to Uvalde CISD. So if you ever see Dan, you thank him because he is our connection. Without him, we wouldn't have made this great connection. Now, I'd like to share with you just a glimpse of the different places we took our students and all of the wonderful experiences they had. Mario Rodriguez put that great piece of video together for us, just capturing little glimpse of last year. And you could see by the smiles on our student faces, after every trip and on the bus ride back, lots of thank yous, lots of "I've never been here before, ma'am." We just had a wonderful time. And I call it our inaugural year, our pilot year, because really our kids didn't really know, right? What am I trying to work for? What do you mean going to the Ox Ranch? What do you mean to the zoo, right? And so this year was just so impactful in creating those memories and creating those experiences, creating little PR students to go back into the classrooms and share with their students why attending school. First of all, it's so important for our education, but also to be able to attend these learning expeditions. We learned a lot this past year. It's fast and furious. And so we are going to be making changes this year. While this is going to be year 2, across the district we will have challenge dates. So our dates, our perfect attendance challenges will run in 6-week increments, which will be so much easier in reporting and gathering that information. And another thing we learned was that our challenges needed to be the same across the district for families that have students in different schools. We had every elementary on a different perfect attendance challenge last year, just trying to get the most out of all of the places we could go to. But this year, they will follow 6 weeks. They will be concurrent. So you'll notice the first 6 weeks challenge is going to start on the first day of school, because we're going to start releasing this information tomorrow with the district registration, building awareness of the challenges. But it'll end September the 12th on a Friday, and then the second 6 weeks challenge will start that very next Monday. So the idea here is during the second 6 weeks challenge, we will be taking the learning expeditions for those students who qualified, and for those who didn't, they'll already be earning an opportunity to go on the second 6 weeks. There will be no gaps this year, and that was one of the very big things that we learned this past year. In addition to that, we have a new academic calendar that has 165 instructional days, which means we will be safeguarding instructional time. All learning expeditions, if you look at those dates, are happening on the Fridays where our staff has professional development and our students are off, giving them something to do. They will also be taking place on Saturdays and on days that our school district is closed. Okay, so looking at this, every 6 weeks we will have 4 learning expeditions, and none of those dates will interfere with instructional time. They will all be on Fridays, Saturdays, and there's a few Mondays and Fridays where our district is closed, but we are utilizing all of our off time. What we've done is worked really hard to schedule the first 2 6 weeks and made reservations so that our students know what they're working for. And we have sectioned them off by grade level. We've done by pre-K through 2nd grade, which will be working for a magician show. 3rd through 5th will go to the San Antonio Aquarium. 6th through 8th, the San Antonio Botanical Gardens. And 9th through 12, we're gonna take them to Natural Bridge Caverns. And the beauty of not having these trips on instructional days is we don't have to rush back to get the buses back into the district for dismissal time, which is what was happening last year. Whatever trip we took, we had to leave by 1, leave San Antonio to get back here by 3 o'clock so that our buses were back at our campuses for dismissal time. We have plenty of buses, we just don't have plenty of drivers, right? So having learning expeditions on days where we don't have school, we now have a field trip for bus drivers who would be off, and we have the luxury of time. So we are looking forward, all of these locations have been reserved, as well as for the second 6 weeks. We'll be taking pre-K through 2nd on October 31st to the Corn Maze, 3rd through 5th to the Museum, 6th through 8th to the Texas Transportation Museum, and 9th through 12th to Lackland Air Force Base. That Lackland Air Force Base point of contact is super excited and is going to just take our kids, our high school kids, to different hangars, different parts of the Air Force Base. So we are just thrilled to have our first 2 6 weeks fully planned, reservations secured. It's no small feat, so we're still working on the rest of the school year. But what we've also learned is we needed some structure. So every learning expedition will have a school nurse just to tend to our students. We will have a white fleet following every learning expedition driven by a bus driver. We will have campus points of contact to help with communications, logistics, and promotional efforts. And we will also have a teacher and staff coordination to help ensure that information is delivered to our students. We'll be using all of our learning management platforms, Canvas and Seesaw, to make sure our parents get the information. We'll be using mass communication to communicate directly with parents so they're aware of all of the learning expeditions, the perfect attendance challenges, and just really building a great awareness of what's coming up next. So with that, our first 6 weeks challenge is going to start with the first day of school, because beginning tomorrow, we will begin to release all this information to our parents and our students. Please know that we have taken great consideration. If there's a bad weather day and we have some flooding or something like that, we will just take that date right out of the challenge. But we will manage that on our end, so we don't have to burden our families with that. It is perfect attendance challenge, which means attending school every day. There are some exceptions for extracurricular. There's exceptions for families that take their children to school in the morning and have to pull out maybe for a dentist appointment, but they get back to school and they finish the day. Those will be looked at, as well as any kind of court cases or places that students have to miss. right? Those would be the only exceptions. Other than that, it's a perfect attendance challenge, which means attending school every day. Dr. Whitney is committed to our school district in supporting us as much as he can to help us increase our attendance rate, because that increases dollars into our district. And most importantly, it increases our knowledge, our instructional time with our students, which is going to be so very important this year with only 165 days of instructional time.
And Marie, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
I just want to say, whoever, I know it was probably more than one person that came up with those dates, because I think that we saw like a drop in attendance when there was a field trip planned, and maybe kids weren't going, so they're like, well, we're not going to school. And so, I mean, that was great. Those dates that aren't going to help with school, and also just to hear parents say, you know, I could never afford to take my child here or there, and they were so excited that they got to take that field trip.
Yes, you're very welcome. We learned so much the first year. We were literally flying the plane as we were building it. So this year we took all of those experiences and we said, we're going to fix a few things, right? And so now our challenges run concurrently, and we figured out which exceptions we can make. But ultimately, it's to provide wonderful learning expeditions to our students that they may never get to go. And if they have, well, it's a great experience for them to go, because when we're greeted by representatives of the agency or the organization, and they're telling us what they did to go to school, what career paths they've taken. They really embrace the opportunity to share with the students all their education and what they did to get there, how to become a zookeeper or how to work at SAMSAT. So our kids are learning behind the scenes aspects as well. Okay, so thank you for letting me do this as well, because it's been a labor of love. It truly has, right? This is not an easy feat by any means. But to see the smiles on our students' faces, it fills my heart. It truly does. So thank you, Board of Trustees, for allowing us to do this for year 2.
And thank you to Dr. Whitney for funding it. And Anne Marie, thank you so much for taking on the challenge of organizing it all and making it all happen, because when she says it was no small feat, it was no small feat. It was very labor intensive, and she did not have a lot of help in the beginning. Then we started to learn what was necessary to pull it all off. So we've gotten her some help now, and I'm very pleased with the plan going forward. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mrs. Colas, and thank you for reminding me. Dr. Whitney did see, he's like, is this for the entire district? I said, oh, yes, sir. We're not leaving not one of our schools out. We're not leaving one of our grade levels out. So when we took our first group to SeaWorld, he could not imagine. He was so surprised about the amount of students we took. He says, you need help. You need help. So he also covers the substitute daily rate to have 2 ladies come in and help me with all the organization, with calling these places and making the reservations. When I say Dr. Whitney covers the entire bill, he truly does. This is at no cost to the district to provide our students wonderful experiences for coming to school every day. Yes. Well, thank you. Yes.
Item number 5, open forum. We welcome your comments on items not listed on the agenda. The audience of patrons portion of the meeting is limited to 3 minutes per person and will last up to 15 minutes total. Delegations of more than 5 persons shall appoint 1 person to present their views to the board. Keep your comments in a positive nature. Please do not expect board discussion of items raised during the open forum at this meeting that are not on the agenda posted for this meeting. If comments made during the course of the public forum warrant further information, we will direct the superintendent to gather information for consideration at a later date. Our first speaker is Mr. Ronald Gavsa on appellate court ruling.
Good afternoon, Ms. Colas, school board members. I think we're all aware of the most recent ruling by the appellate court regarding the lawsuit involving UCISD and Uvalde County with regards to the school district and the county handing over all video coverage, all emails, notes, etc. to the media. I consider this a victory. This is just my opinion, for the families, for the parents, for those beautiful children, and those two wonderful teachers. For too long, these parents and families have been kept in the dark. And for too long, the district attorney's office continues to have her go-to line as, we can't talk about this, we can't show this, because it's going to compromise the criminal case pending here at our 38th Judicial Court District. I am one of 4 Uvalde County Commissioners, and I'm not here by no means speaking on behalf of Commissioners Court, but I know where I stand on this matter. For too long, this has been going on. These attorneys representing UCISD and Uvalde County ultimately work for the taxpayers. And the more this goes on, the more expense the taxpayers are incurring. So I'm pleading with the board here tonight to drop the appeal. Hand over video coverage. Hand it over. And again, I'm not speaking here for Commissioners Court, but I'm doing all I can to follow suit. So thank you for your time. God bless you. Have a good rest of the evening.
Our second speaker is Mrs. Gloria Cáceres on Rock Records.
Hi. My name is Gloria Cáceres, Jackie's mom. I'm here today to say that I fully support the release of UCISD records from May 24th. For over 3 years, families like mine have lived with unbearable pain, unanswered questions, and a silence that feels like yet another betrayal. It took that day forever changed our lives. It took from us what we can never get back, our children and our sense of safety. It's about making sure what happened to my daughter never happens to another child. I'm here today to I'm here today to demand the truth. You all owe it to Jackie, to her classmates, to her teachers, and to every single family member that has forever been changed. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Simon Ortiz, agenda item 7C.
Superintendent Colas, trustees, thank you for this time. First, I'd like to say well said, Commissioner Garza, well said, Mrs. Cáceres. I'm here to talk about the personnel matters that you're going to discuss in closed session and then take action when you get back in here. I hope these actions take into account the discussion y'all had last week about the revenues and how drastic the projections are and how they could not or might not be as bad. Last year, UCISD was facing a $2 million to $2.7 million deficit from the projections made in that budget at this juncture last year. And towards the end of the year, we came out almost, if not balanced, with a small deficit. This year, your deficit is something like $700,000, but that is with a dire revenue prediction that some of your trustees and some of the folks in the audience thought was too low. Please, please, take into account these projections that were made that are so low. And you agreed that it should have been higher. And if you take into account these projections, why not take those same projections into account when you make these cuts back there? I hope you have made those adjustments in the cuts that you're going to make in the personnel, because these cuts will affect the morale. These cuts will affect the quality of education. Now, I say cuts, but I'm talking about your personnel matters. And this will also affect employee retention. Last week, it was said that if you didn't make if you signed contracts with these teachers, that it would be irreversible. Well, we think that if you do make these cuts, it will have a irreversible effect in morale, in quality of education, and retention of teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mrs. Belinda Ariola. Discussion on Roberts.
Good evening, Superintendent, Ms. Bettis, Board Trustees. Here we go again with another episode of Will You Do the Right Thing? For 38 months, there are 3 things that we have asked for: transparency, accountability, and to be able to have our loved ones back in our lives and in our homes. As we all know, the latter is impossible, but the other 2 can definitely still happen. It is time for UCISD to stop fighting the release of records. There's nothing in those records, in those files, that can hurt any one of us any more than the pain that we've already endured. Once released, there will be questions. Transparency will come. There may be some blame. Accountability will come. I'm here to ask that you do not drag this out any longer, and that you not file another appeal, and let's get this out on the table, get it out in the open. Because let's face it, if it were your child or your grandchild, you would want to know the truth about everything. Trust starts with you. And those that always say that we should move on and get over it, it's issues like this that won't allow this, and this is why we're not done. Thank you.
Thank you. Item agenda number 6, a closed session. A closed session will be held under provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.071 and 551.074. A, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, attorney consultation regarding prior litigation, DOJ, Midelis versus UCISD civil action, DR-77-CA-20 consent decree compliance. Item agenda B, pursuant to section 55.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with the district's attorney concerning legal issues related to pending litigation in the matters filed Texas Tribune. Et al. Versus Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District, et al. Case number 2022-08-34516, CV in the 38th Judicial District of Texas, Uvalde County, Texas, on appeal in the Fourth Court of Appeals in the state of Texas. Item agenda C, deliberation concerning approval of personnel appointments, assignments, suspensions, and terminations. The time now is 6:38. Item B, consider and take possible action regarding pending litigation in the matter Style Texas Tribune et al. Versus Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District et al. Case number 2022-08-34516-CV in the 38th Judicial District of Texas, Uvalde County, Texas, on appeal in the 4th Court of Appeals in the state of Texas. I make a motion that we move that the school district release the responsive information to the media entities who filed suit against the district in compliance with the court order and direct the administration to provide prior notice to the families and the community of the release date.
Second.
Motion made, trustee Bettis, second by trustee Suarez. Any discussion?
There's nothing I can say or we can say that don't fix any of this, but I do hope that we can at least open that door where we can start that building of trust and have that transparency. And, you know, we have a committed board up here and we're trying to do the right thing. This is the step in that right direction. We need to get back on track where the community can trust us and get back to where we used to be.
I agree. I think it's important for us to really see information. We want to respect the community and know that we will inform you before it's released and you will know before it's released to the media outlets. I think it's important that you know that it's why I sit up here as a school board member. It's why I do this. It's for you and the community so that we can have healing and transparency. So I want y'all to know that. And I thank y'all for coming today. I know that y'all have been through a lot of trials and battles. I'm sorry we didn't release it sooner. I just, coming on as a new board member, I don't know if I understood everything. And so we're coming to understand more. And I believe that it's important to be transparent in choices that we make and do things better, get things right in this district.
Thank you for being here. And yes, I do agree that we should release this information, be transparent, and start getting the trust from the public. And I asked of you if you see anything wrong with the district, point it out. Because if we don't hear about it, you know, some of us don't know about it. Because we're not can get out of the campus, you know, and of course, you know, you can always reach out to communications. One of the most important things that will make this district successful. You know, communicate with the teachers, the principals, the board members, the superintendent. You know, don't wait until it's too late. And I'm sorry that it took this long to release the information.
In preparing for today, I took a lot of things into consideration. Am I creating or causing more harm than good? And that weigh a lot. You know, there's another aspect of that, and that is the money aspect, right? I mean, you spend money, that's not as important, obviously. But it always goes back to the question, am I creating more harm than good? And I think I can do this on my own. I had to reach out to people, and I reached out to many people. A lot of the families, they opened up to me. A lot of the survivors opened up to me. Teachers opened up. Just people that I've run into. Of course, I never divulged any information that was in these documents, and there's a lot of documents. And reading them will take you right back to that day. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that one day, but I'm also hopeful that some of the questions that you have, that you're going to get some of the answers. Will it answer everything? And will it give you closure? I don't think anything ever will give you that type of closure. Will it hopefully make you heal or allow you to heal? I pray that it does. It been weighing, and like Jackie said, for a whole year, did I make the right decision on my initial appeal? I look back, and it's always easy to look back and say, she could have done things differently. But we are here today, and the outcome is favorable. I asked several moms, parents, grandmas, one teacher that I'll share with you, when I asked her, and I didn't know who she was. I just happened to be working at her house, and I asked her, and she turned and she looked at the wall, and she took me right back to May 24. And I could see her eyes looking at the wall. And she described where she was, everything in detail, and she came right back to me. And I asked her, I go, what is it you want me to do? And she says, I want you to release it. And I go, why is that? And she tells me, it's because you asked me to trust you as a school district. You sit on that board, all y'all sit on that board, and you ask me, if you hide and you hold this information, how can I ever trust you? That I'll make all the sins. I asked, there's so many quotes, and I don't want to read them all because it's painful to hear. A lot of them, I would hang up with y'all, and like inhuman word, you cry. What can you do? One person told me, says, you can't give me my child back. The least that you can do is give me this information. One person said, the longer that you hold on to this information, you're killing me. You're torturing me. And the stories are like that. The survivors, the same thing. I don't know what to do and what to say except for hold you, hug you, and tell you that I love you. Because you will have to live with this for the rest of your life. The nightmare, it never ends. Those that lost somebody, I know there's a vacancy. I know Christmas is not the same anymore. Thanksgiving doesn't exist. You go to the river, you miss them. What I can't do is try to make things right. What I can't do is apologize to you and tell you I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do so long. I'm sorry that we don't. If there's something that we can learn from this, it's how to be better. How to make things better. We pray that it never happens. We already know that it's happened since May 24th. I hope that other districts will learn from this, that the colleges will learn from this. If it ever happens, I forbid it doesn't, if it ever happens, that we take note of how we felt, but also most importantly is how do we make things right? Did we struggle in making things right? We will continue to struggle, but we have to reflect and allow God to guide us in the right direction and to embrace you. And with that, could I tell you one more time that I love you so very much, and I wish that I could take an ounce of that pain away from you.
I think that, it didn't take long to come to this decision, and I think that I wish we had the opportunity to do it sooner. And I know that we can't take back what everyone has lost that day, but we will try to do better. We'll do better for all of you, for our districts, and let you know that we hear you, we feel you, and we're trying. And talking to different families, the one thing that just over and over was, you can't give me my child back, but you can try to give me closure. So I hope that in today you have some bit of answer to maybe questions you never had answered, thoughts that you thought about that were never clear to you. And just know that in releasing this, the hope is that it doesn't hurt you any more than it already has, right? But I believe that you should have this information. I believe it belongs to you.
And talking with Trustee Weasel and hearing him, I echo a lot of stuff that he says. I look at all of you, all the families there. Prior to May 24th, we were all friends. We all talked, we all laughed together. This is something that doesn't come with a handbook, doesn't come with a step-by-step procedure of what to do. Every day, every board meeting, whether it be a regular meeting, a special meeting, I'm praying. I'm praying that I get the right answers to do the right thing. When I decided to run for the school board, it was prior to May 24th. And I didn't know what to expect, and nothing prepared me for this. Our community, I hope we can start our healing process, continue our healing process. And all I can say is that I will continue to do the best thing that I need to do for our community. And I'm an open book. If you call me and talk to me, many of you have called me one-on-one, and I've talked to you. I've never not answered a call. I just pray that this information that will be released will help you in the healing process. And I just thank y'all for being here and speaking on this.
I'm Erica Nelson. I ran for school board in the most tough time after May 24th, and I've followed everything. I've seen the hurting. I've seen the families and the moms and the dads, and I go back to that day and I think to myself, I still see my kids' shoes there, and I think, these moms are not going to see their kids again. And it's always so hurtful, and it's always been this over me. But I felt that, y'all deserve to know what happened. We need to be transparent. We need to give y'all the information so that y'all can find that way to heal, and to feel like, there's nothing that we're hiding. And that's the worst, is to know or to think that, what are they hiding from us? Why are they not releasing this to us? So I'm glad that I'm here to be a part of that, and to help, transform your views of us, of the school board, and that we're here for you guys, and to reach out to us if you need anything. We feel for you guys, and we hope that by doing this, it will help you find that trust again in us. Thank you.
All in favor? Passage unanimously.
Thank you.
The board will now go into closed session for item A pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, attorney consultation regarding prior litigation, DOJ Midelis versus UCISD civil action under DR-77-CA-20 consent decree compliance. C, deliberation concerning approval of personnel employments, assignments, and suspensions and terminations. The time now is 7:43.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, I gotta leave. Do you wanna lead? I'll follow you.
Yeah, I was thinking like. Yeah, and I think she's gonna Elian, I think I'm gonna call the marshal and have
Don't listen here, take